So anyways, a quick thing. So I like to talk about the tests. The problem with the tests on this, I can't speak for other armors, but when it comes to this, is the tests. I don't like how they're faulty. Just plain and simple, I think they're faulty. And it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of factors to it, but the main factor is it's on a solid target. So they put a thin gamberson on there, and they put it on a really solid target that doesn't move like a human being, and it's just really stiff. So therefore, all that energy doesn't have anywhere to go but forward. And that's fine when you're trying to find the max capability of a piece of equipment like this. But to have a realistic view on how this performed, no, that's not how you test armor, especially something like this, when primary sources are saying otherwise. So another thing is, I think they're shooting too close most of the time. So that's another thing. So you have a target that's on solid, and it's too close. So, and you're shooting with armor-piercing tips half the time, if not all the time. So these are the problems. You're shooting with a very powerful bow or crossbow, and you're shooting it like what, 55 feet away or something, when it's supposed to be 55 meters away or 65 meters away. So, you know, and when a target that flexes, and a test that shows that is Cult of Athena. Cult of Athena on there, and you can just type it in there, Cult of Athena chainmail test. They have like 2 or 3 videos up there, and it's really good. It's been a while I've seen it, but I like to see it again to refresh. But from what I remember, they have a dummy that just flexes. I think that's really amazing because it rolls with the punches per se. All that energy dissipates. So when they're testing it, even when against a spear, this did very well. Very well. It was mind-blowing well. You would think a spear could pierce through this and a gamberson easily. Well, probably gamberson very easily. But with this on there, apparently not. So I would look at that, and it gives you a better idea from all the other videos I'm talking about. And it matches the primary sources. It gives you a good idea how good this stuff is. It's amazing. So, they showed it, and it showed like, what I noticed, it was kind of grabbing a little bit, almost like a modern bulletproof vest. So it kind of grabbed, absorbing the spear, and then the spear had a hard time penetrating. I thought that was very interesting. That means if you put, that's why I would dare anybody get a fairly powerful bow, and you know, not a modern bow, but, you know, a historical, or as close as possible, historical bow or crossbow. Probably not a armor piercing. I mean, that wouldn't be very fair. But even maybe with an armor piercing, I guess. I would dare you to shoot that at a dummy that flexes like a person at 55 to 65 meters away, not yards, meters, and see what happens with a gamberson or arming jacket that's, you know, underneath, that's 12 layers or more. So I would bet you that this will stop, not literally stop it on its tracks, but it will protect the wearer, the dummy, without harm, or very, very, very little harm, to where it's not enough to neutralize it. And that will match the primary sources from both sides talking about the performance of this. Dare you. And I'm talking about decent made mail like this, like, you know, 7 millimeters. I think this is 7 or 6 mild steel. Yeah, I think that, I'm pretty sure this will stop it. I'm pretty sure. So if you do that, I'm willing to bet you. Armor piercing, not guaranteed, but I wouldn't be surprised if it stopped it. Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if it went through. I mean, it's armor piercing. I mean, armor piercing wouldn't be a fair test. It's like me testing a modern body armor, like a flak jacket or a level 3A or level 2A vest with an armor piercing bullet and shooting it, 10 feet away. Yeah, dude, it's gonna go through. So, use a more fair test, I say, and because not everything that people have are always armor piercing. But even, try even with armor piercing, see what happens. I think it might stop it, even at that distance, and with a target that flexes like a person. So that's just my kind of little challenge.